Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we have something that is absolutely as exciting as it gets to take a look at, because we have our very first entry in the Dinomikemak Paleo Revived line. These are basically dinosaur figures that he is creating on his own personal line of dinos, and he of course prints them out and then, ships them to you if you purchase some, but they come unpainted. So I've gone ahead and painted mine up here so that we can show off how nice it is. It is the Ornithomimus, and that is a figure that we don't get very many figures of. It's a species that just doesn't get near as much love as you would expect it to, and this figure looks really, really cool. You can obviously see it is a feathered version of the Ornithomimus. You can also see that it has some really nice plumage out there on the arms. Super cool crest up here on the top of the head as well. He really has gone ahead and given this quite the exciting and unique look, but the figure does look very, very cool again, and is our very first glimpse into the Paleo Revived line. So let's jump to a closer look and we'll check it out from there. Now again, as I had said, I painted this one, so yours could turn out however you want it. You can give it whatever paint scheme you want. I chose to paint mine prior to reviewing it. Normally I would review them unpainted, but the material that he actually prints them out in is a very bright white coloration, so I felt like it would probably mesh with my background a little bit too much, so I decided to give it a fresh coat of paint to look at it. I probably could have just given it a base coat, but whatever. You can see again that the Ornithomimus looks really nice. It's obviously got its head straight forward. There's no turn in the neck or anything. Pretty straightforward as far as the appearance goes. It's got the mouth opened a little bit as it's kind of letting out a vocalization while it runs along. You can see the inside of the mouth, if my camera would focus on it, does sport the tongue and other really nice detail there on the inside of the mouth, but man, my camera doesn't want to get in there. However, it is a pretty darn small head and small mouth, so of course that's going to be the reason why it doesn't want to focus. But you can see we've got the nostrils right there. As you move back into the face, you can see the eye is sculpted out, and we obviously pick up some very nice feathering, kind of fine feathering as you lead back into the head. And again, the crest up here looks really cool as well. I gave it a little bit of a flashy coloration because I kind of would expect that on a crest, and nice texturing in that area as well. But as you move down here into the neck, you can really see the way that he sculpted out the feathers have a strong similarity, in my opinion, to an emu or an ostrich or something like that. It is the type of feathering you often see on dinosaurs like this, so I think it was a great choice on the part of Dinomikemak to give it that sort of feather detail. And as I said, it's very fine feathering as you move down through the course of the neck. If you look here at the underside, you can see the throat as well. I gave it kind of a little bit of a light bluish tone moving down along the underside of our Ornithomimus. And then as you continue to lead down into the body, you can see leading down a little bit further, the feathering starts to kind of pick up a little bit. Still kind of flat on the body. Again, very emu or ostrich-like as far as the feathering goes, but it definitely picks up a little bit. You can see it's not nearly as fine as what you see up there in the neck. As you lead down into the arms, though, we have some really nice plumage down here in the arms, and I think he's done a great job of sculpting all of the feathers out here. You can see the actual feather detail looks incredible. Again, I did give it some flashiness to the coloration here of the feathers, and I felt like it turned out pretty decent. For the most part, it's fairly natural in my opinion, so I'm pretty happy with my paint job. But one thing that is cool about these Paleo Revived figures is some of them actually do sport articulation. This one is one of them, so you can articulate the arms of your Ornithomimus, which actually helps me right now because it allows me the opportunity to kind of crawl under here and get a better look at the underside of the arms, which you can see again, the underside of both the arms and the feathers looks really quite nice. And of course we can do the same for this side over here. Looks really good. You can see the nails sculpted out, and of course the fingers sculpted out really nicely as well. And you can also just generally see again how nice that feather detail looks on these arms. But that also means we can lift the arms up to get a better shot of the stomach, and obviously you can see that the stomach sports the same type of fairly fine but a little bit more hectic kind of wavy feathering as we move through the course of our dinosaur. Same deal over here. You may notice that one leg is further forward than the other, but that's not the case, actually. Well, I mean, it was the case right then, but you have articulated legs as well, which is really cool. Again, just adding even more articulation to these dinosaur figures, and that's really exciting. I love articulation, so having an articulated Ornithomimus is really cool. Moving down here into the thigh, you can see the muscle definition in the thigh as well as the calf. Again, the feather detail runs down through the course of the leg. However, it does taper off as you lead down into the lower part of the leg. You have a really nice skin texture as you move down here. Again, extremely emu-like, if you ask me. Very nice, very bird-like foot sculpt here. Again, the nails are sculpted out, and they have that genuine sharp look to them, which is a plus. And you lead out into the tail. The tail is absolutely straight out, which kind of makes me feel like you could put this in a very nice running pose, and it would look really good in that pose with it just kind of running along. The underside as well sports all sorts of really nice feather detail moving through. Again, I gave it that bluish tone. And of course, you're going to see pretty much the same thing over here on the opposing side. So again, the very first figure to hit my channel for the Paleo Revived line, and I'm absolutely in love with this awesome Ornithomimus. Now, as far as a size goes for our Ornithomimus, I mean, it's not a huge figure. For a length from the snout to the tail, about 5.5 inches or 14 centimeters. And then for a height, about 3.5 inches or 9 centimeters. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, Robert Muldoon in the Collect A human being next to our Paleo Revived Ornithomimus. And you can see, again, it's fairly small, kind of like you would expect it to. And obviously it is pretty similar in size to what you see with like an Attack Pack size range figure. So that should help to give you a rough idea, I think, of the size of this Ornithomimus. For another size comparison, we have a Mattel Gallimimus, which you can see is just a little bit larger than our Ornithomimus. We've also got the Hammond Collection Gallimimus, which that one clearly is quite a bit larger. And then for 3 totally random figures stepping in, as usual, I use the Schleich Diabloceratops, Safari LTDU Tyrannus, and Collect A Deluxe Dimetrodon quite often for random comparisons. And especially in this situation, I really only have like one other Ornithomimus figure in my collection, and it's a Kyoto version, so it's super tiny. So I really feel like there's no point in trying to find that one, which means I don't really have any Ornithomimus to compare with this one. So, of course, I'm going to bring in some very random figures to compare with it. So this brand new Paleo Revived Ornithomimus from Dinomikemak is really quite awesome, actually. I'm definitely a fan of this, and I'm so excited to continue to bring in his other figures to show off to you guys, because the very first wave features quite a few dinosaurs and some really cool looking stuff. You know, I have the entire first wave here with me already, so I just need to get them painted up to bring in here for, of course, a review. But I'm very impressed with all of them, and again, especially the ones that feature articulation. He had stated to me that he was going to try to work out some articulation on them a little ways back when he first brought them up to me, and I'm really happy to see that he has, in fact, done that. And especially when it comes to this one, the Ornithomimus is so nicely done. Like, the sculpt is really quite beautiful overall. He's got some very nice feather detail, and I love that there's difference when it comes to the feather detail, like really fine feathering in the neck, kind of shaggier feathering as you move back into the body, as well as the really nice plumage out there on the arms, definitely giving this a pretty unique look, as well as that crest on the top of the head. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't recall Ornithomimus being a dinosaur with a crest, so this is obviously just a little bit of artistic liberties on the part of Dinomikemak, but I really quite like it because I think that it helps to give the dinosaur, again, that very nice, very unique look. And I think a lot of the figures that he's making are kind of meant to be within the Jurassic World sort of scheme of things, and you'll see that as we move through a lot of these figures. So this could be the design that they would come up with if this ever appeared in a Jurassic film. But again, I really do quite like the crest on the head of this one. And of course, the fact that it has articulated arms and articulated legs is really fun as well. So again, a very cool figure, a great way to start this line. And if you are interested in grabbing one of these for yourself, I will include a link in the description to where you can do that from Dinomikemak right now. So make sure you check that link, go grab this very cool Ornithomimus, and also like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.